Well, thanks to the big orange gremlin looking mother, multiple farms in Texas just shut down overnight.
Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us. You guys are the real MVPs. So lovelies, I came across this video right for you, and I thought to share where Asian Americans are all out for their own, and also given the reasons why they are all quiet. I came across this video on my For You, and I thought to share where white people are outraged and getting so upset to the fact that white Texas farmers are losing their farms because of this ice race. The thing is that they are calling out for help. They are like, they can't take this anymore. And because of this, food or anything that has to do with agriculture is actually going to skyrocket. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. All right,
down on illegal immigration is starting to affect the Texas agriculture industry. Some farmers say their workers are too scared to show up for work. Fox Sports' Casey Stegall spoke with the Texas Agriculture Commissioner about the recent immigration raids. Casey.
Hey, Steve, good to see you. The state Republican Agriculture Commissioner tells me that the stepped-up immigration enforcement is taking a toll on the industry, not just here in Texas, but beyond, while federal immigration authorities say they're only doing their jobs. Just 40 miles or so south of the Dallas hustle and bustle,
row crops, hay production,
sits Lee Calvert's 2,000-acre Ellis County family farm.
My father helps me, obviously. My little sister helps. My wife, huge help. I've got 3 sons, and they're coming along and doing what they can.
Calvert knows he's lucky not having to rely on farm hands to check the chores off, because those who do say absenteeism among hired migrant help has disrupted their entire operations.
They hear that ICE is coming, or they see somebody from INS roll up. Well, they just don't show up. They're scared to come to work.
Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller tells Fox 4 dairy farmers have been hit the hardest.
But on a dairy, those cows, they never stay milked. You milk them 3 times in a 24-hour period. So if the crew doesn't show up, these dairymen go into panic mode.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Do you have documents to be here?
Recent video posted to immigration rights groups' social media channels shows federal agents conducting raids on California farms. President Trump in the last week briefly paused this type of enforcement within a handful of economic sectors which rely heavily on migrant labor, like agriculture. Then it was back to business.
We're enforcing everywhere. In other words, the president has said if you are an illegal immigrant into this country, you ought to voluntarily go back and come through the proper channels.
Folks like Lee Calvert agree there's no place in America for migrants with violent criminal backgrounds, but wishes there was more gray area.
And I think there needs to be a distinction made in a pathway for the people that do want to come here, obey our laws, integrate into our societies, work in our factories, fields, wherever.
So the U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates that more than 40% of the nation's farm workers are undocumented.
Well, thanks to the big orange gremlin looking motherfucker, multiple farms in Texas just shut down overnight. Why? Because ICE raids made nearly 100% of the workforce completely vanish. People ran, got detained, or flat out got scared to death and never came back. Dairy farms are in panic mode right now. Cows gotta be milked every 8 hours. And guess what? Nobody's showing up to milk these fuckers, folks. This isn't some Texas problem either. This is happening across the entire nation. ICE isn't just out here enforcing some bullshit laws. They are actively crippling our food systems with fear and chaos. You want to talk about consequences? This ain't just about politics anymore, y'all. It's about what's on your table, what's in your fridge, or what's about to be missing from your fucking store. These Nimrods aren't saving America. They're starving it.
No, this is so sad. There are a bunch of white Texas farmers who are losing their farms right now. Because guess what? 100% of their workforce vanished. Wow. So all those people, who got eyes caught on them, they were working on the farms. So now that they're gone, they cannot sustain the farms. You know what's crazy about this video? Because I talked about this like 2 months ago when Trump brought over all these South Afrikaners, farm people, where we find out that they were not really even farmers. And I was talking about this and found out that a few of our dear white farmers here had started losing their farms because of promises that were made to them and was not kept by this administration. So now it's trickling down to some other farmers because now their workforce, they're gone. And I was seeing somewhere where somebody came over, and it was a Caucasian man. He came over from Twitter and he was like, y'all, a lot of these farmers, white farmers, they thought that black people were going to come and work for their farms. There's a lot going on in this country right now. Us heading into possibly World War II. But this is a conversation just to kind of talk about right now, that people are kind of seeing I guess, what's the word? I can't even find the word, but the decisions that they made, they are coming back to hunt them. Let's just say that. So sorry to hear this, but yeah. So I do hope that some of these Native Americans that did lose their lands, that they do get back some of these farms that are being lost.
For U.S. So some bad news for U.S. agriculture. Farms in Texas are shutting down at an increasing rate. This is mainly due to the fact that their workforce has literally vanished 100% overnight in some cases. Of course, the immigration raids by Donald Trump's ICE department is causing this, and it's leading to complications for the business, and in many cases these businesses are actually shutting down. The issue with this, of course, is that the supply chains will be affected. Prices will be increased as food scarcity increases as well. So folks, let me know what you think about this story. The source for this is MSN. My name is Nick. Let me know what you think about this in the comments.
Texas is continuing the F around and find out stage. Guess what just hit 0 before Donald Trump's approval rating? Right there. Farm labor attendance, 0. Entire fields, whole crews are ghosting fields, leaving fruits and vegetables to rot because the Donald Trump administration is too busy playing cat and mouse with people who just want to feed America. To the MAGA people who are saying that immigrants are taking your job, this right here is your opportunity. Pick yourselves up by the bootstraps, get those buckets, and pick those strawberries. No more hiding behind those welfare checks that are padded behind blue state dollars. You wanted the raids, you got them. Now get in those fields and pick those fruits and vegetables before you watch the produce aisle turn to a luxury boutique section. Chop chop, MAGA. And that's it.
It's Joe from Georgia. So this is news out of Texas. But folks, these are alarm bells ringing for the entire United States. And our government is not listening. Overnight, multiple farms in the state of Texas completely shut down. And the reason for this shutdown was because they have lost almost 100% of their workforce. Now, we know this is the result of the immigration raids and stricter enforcement, but the ripple effect is going to be felt all the way across this country. Now, you've got crops that are rotting in the fields. You have livestock that is not being attended to at all, and that takes a lot of personnel. And we're talking, so now we're getting every area of food to include meat. And the communities that surround these farms, those businesses and those people who depend on the income from these farms, it's creating disasters for small communities in Texas. Now, this is not stopping at Texas farms. This is going to end up all the way across America. especially in the breadbasket, the middle of the nation, because they have tons of immigrant help. But folks, the alarm bells are ringing. Your food on your plate is being affected. So you got to think about it. It won't be soon until either prices go ridiculously high or you just won't have any food to buy.
News out of Texas, and if this is happening in Texas, this is happening elsewhere. I'll put the link to the article in the description. Multiple farms are shutting down due to lack of workers because the entire workforce has basically fled and is in hiding and not showing up for work. Crops are being left to die in the Texas heat. Livestock is being untended to, unwatered, and unfed. There's just no one to do the work. So this is going to lead to potential food shortages because I'm sure this is happening across the country. Most farm workers are questionably documented. No one else is willing to do the work. This is going to lead to shortages, and inflation is going to go back up as we're going to have to import food from outside.
Dozens of Texas farms shut down overnight. Why? Because 100% of the workforce has vanished. It's not a mystery. They haven't gone missing. They've left because of immigration raids and policies that treat the people that grow our food, even the ones with work permits, like criminals. No workers means no harvest. Do you think food's expensive now? Just wait. And this isn't just a Texas issue. It's your dinner table, your kids' school lunch, your grocery bill, your local farmer's market. You want America first? Well, guess what? America just ran out of farm workers. And it turns out crops don't pick themselves. We've arrested, detained, or deported the workforce. And now we don't have enough food. There aren't enough people to take care of the livestock either. Guess what? Cows don't feed themselves. Chickens can't clean their own pens. And then they get sick and they die. And there goes your milk, your eggs, and your cheeseburger. This is what happens when we let people write policy who haven't worked a day in their life, especially on a farm, but they never miss a steak dinner. We need migrant workers. We need labor protections for the migrant workers. If the workforce continues to disappear, so will all the food on your plates.
Hello, Americans who like to eat. I'm Linda, and I want to talk about empty grocery shelves. They are coming, and sooner than we think. There's a 3,000 per day immigrant detention quota. 40% of farm workers in the United States are undocumented. You do the math. Farms are an excellent place to find undocumented immigrants to detain and deport, depleting the workforce. And now, those who haven't been rounded up are afraid to show up. Let's look at just one state, Texas. According to farmers, this issue has been affecting their farms for a couple of weeks, but overnight, it bottomed out. On several Texas farms, nearly 100% of farm workers aren't showing up. So what does that mean for you? Remember Trump's comment about having $2 instead of 30? Cows are milked 3 times a day. No workers, no milk, and some very unhappy cows. What if your grocery store, instead of getting 30 gallons of milk, gets 2? 28 families will not be able to buy milk. Now extrapolate that among produce. Produce that instead of being harvested is rotting on the vine. Texas is one of the top 10 producers of 40 major commodities. It is the 4th largest agriculture producer in the nation and 2nd in animal products. And it's not just cows not being milked and produce rotting on the vine. 1 in 7 Texans works in an agriculture-related job. If farms stop working, those jobs are affected. Workers not earning money aren't paying taxes. And yes, undocumented workers pay taxes. Without money coming in, they will cut back on things like restaurants and small businesses, movie theaters, wherever they spend their discretionary income. Last week, Trump ordered a halt to immigration enforcement at farms. But it may already be too late to solve the current problem. The lack of workers now mean farms won't hit full production this year, And if they lose planting now, there is nothing to harvest later. Yet, despite Trump's assurances, a few days after his statement, the administration resumed the raids. Vance says the administration plans to continue clearing the country of undocumented immigrants. Quote, we're enforcing everywhere. In other words, you ought to voluntarily go back and come through the proper channels, unquote. That can literally take years. And frankly, it doesn't protect you from being deported. In the meantime, the question remains, how long are you willing to go without food? Bye, Americans. Have a nice day.
Farms in deep red Texas are shut down, and Donald Trump is the reason. Now, as you know, Donald Trump has shifted ICE from focusing on criminal immigrants to going after easier targets such as job sites to pump his numbers up. But farms are hurting because of this, as many of their workers are either being deported or not showing up for fear of being caught up in these raids. And because of this, they're essentially shut down and no work can be done. Just take a listen to one farmer.
3 weeks it started to slow, but this last week or so has been huge. That's when it's like 0 people wanting to come out and
yeah, 0 people going to work the farms. And while yes, these farmers are in the find out phase, we're all going to be in it, because they're talking that our food supply is going to be shut down or have major interruptions. And it's not just Texas, it's California and Washington. We are finding out that yes, immigrants do help the American economy. Immigrants are part of the American fabric. We just didn't realize it till it was too late.
Okay, this isn't when I go, this is bad, this is really bad. But this ain't good. This really ain't good. Google it. So apparently overnight, several of Texas's major farmers, farm corporations, farming companies, like family farming companies, like major farming, closed, shut down completely. Our food is about to get real expensive, especially if you're in Texas. Why did a bunch of Texas farmers shut down overnight? ICE. They don't have any workers. No workers. There's no one to tend the land. There's no one to upkeep your cattle. There's no one to put down pesticides, to do all the things that farmers need to do to maintain their business. Gone. Texas got hit hard, people. Texas got hit hard. Like, the news, Google it, the news is saying, they're saying 100% of their employees vanished overnight. That's a lot. And that means our food is about to get real fucking expensive. It's time to remember how to cook them beans. Bye. Hey y'all. Okay, this isn't when I go, this is bad, this is really bad. But this ain't good.
Immigrant farm workers are not showing up on farms in the Rio Grande Valley in Texas, Florida, and California. In Texas, in particular, in the Rio Grande Valley, they produce many crops needed around the country, such as grapefruit, corn, citrus, oranges, all the vegetables, tomatoes, carrots, cabbage, onions are all grown here. And guess what? The undocumented workers are not showing up there. They're not showing up here in Florida, and they're not showing up in California. Now, I can hear you all say, you don't care, you're glad they're getting them. They're breaking the law, number one. They are criminals. They're not criminals. They are violating a civil violation, which is a fine or a penalty. It is not criminal, unlike the felon in the White House. That's a criminal. You will be complaining when you see no fruit, vegetables, and other crops in our grocery stores to eat. You will care when you see the prices escalate even higher. Isn't that the reason y'all supposedly voted for Trump? Because he was going to bring the prices down, and y'all could only complain and complain about everything under Biden. I don't hear y'all complaining about these out of control prices anymore that we continue to see everywhere thanks to Donald Trump. And all the prices that we've seen go up because of the trade deals or no trade deals and the tariffs. Well, guess what? These prices are going up. Thank you, Donald Trump. You and Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller is such a genius. You know, he is the whole reason that we're having this whole problem, because he is so anti-immigrant. And by the way, his family came from Europe. They were persecuted as immigrants. And Elon, oops, Elon, I did say Elon. Elon, how do you like hanging out with Stephen's wife? What do you think? Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and my burned out light bulbs. What do you all think? Only going to cost us more money, and to accomplish what? This is not a solution. It is the problem. Donald Trump and Stephen Miller are the problem. Hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, and our burned out light bulbs. Let me know what you think. You like these higher prices and the food shortages you're going to see if this continues? And it's going to continue. They're not going to show up. And I'm going to talk about ICE in another video.
Yeah, seriously, lovely. It's just so unfortunate that the same people who massively voted for mass deportation, whom because of maybe their self or whatever, right now is crying, is like frustrated, they are losing their farms, like, oh my goodness. So the internet is reacting to the fact that white Texas farmers, more specifically, is crashing out, outrage, you know, all emotional breakdowns to the fact that they are losing their farms. They are all losing their farms each and every passing day. And oh my goodness, it's unfortunate that they massively voted for this. Imagine using your own hands to destroy your livelihood, using your own hands to actually destroy where you make ends meet. If something like this is happening in Texas, that means it should be happening every other place. It should be happening every other place. And the most unfortunate thing is the fact that this is just going to affect everyone. In as much as it's affecting these farmers, and the farmers are actually losing their farms, the farmers are like, oh my god, there's nothing we can do. We need help because of the ice rates. That means groceries, like anything that has to do with agricultural products, is definitely going to become so high to purchase. And what would that mean? That would mean that the rates of living is going to skyrocket compared to now. It's actually going to get worse. It's going to get worse. You know, it's not as if deporting undocumented immigrants or deporting criminals are not good thing. Yeah, you can go ahead and deport whoever you want to deport, but why doing so? Or as a farmer, why getting yourself signed up to deport most of your undocumented workers? You can do that, but why not have a plan B? Why not have a plan B? There's this article I read on Facebook where some farmers are very, very that are here to just offer any amount of money to get people to come work on these farms. You know vividly well that your uncles, brothers, and sisters, and whosoever that you actually thought was going to take over these jobs was not going to do that, but you're going ahead to vote out people who can actually do these jobs while you pay them penny. Like, when I heard about most of these farmers thinking that black people are going to be the ones to replace the farmers. I was like, I hope this is a joke. But with all of the stitches that I keep on seeing on the social platforms, it actually proves that most of these people decided to vote, you know, for them to get this undocumented and documented immigrant out, because they actually thought that people that looks like me will come take over these jobs. That is the black job that they have been clamoring about. That is the same black job that they thought that people that looks like me was ready to take. That means their intention was to get these people out of the country. Then, meanwhile, I don't even know how they want to get people that looks like me. Or is it that they are planning to force people that looks like me to go get these jobs? Or is it that they thought that people that looks like me are lazy, just the way at which they thought people that looks like me are lazy? Then, when these people goes out from this, when these people get deported, people that looks like me will can't take these jobs. Like, these guys are still living in old times, thinking that black people will just sit around waiting for people to get deported while they can't take these jobs. Like, seriously. You know that you want to get your workers who can do anything for you and collect penny deported, but you never have any form of plan B. Now you are crying that you are losing your farms, you're losing your farm products, instead of you to actually remove sentiments aside and think things through before casting your vote. You allowed your agencies to get hold of you, and by doing that you decided to vote against your own self-interest. Like, seriously, lovelies, like, seriously, it's not as if I don't feel bad for these people losing their farms, but it's just that it's very fair when you say that they brought this upon themselves, when they had the opportunity to do things, to think through things through, or even if they have the plans to get these people deported, why not have a plan B? And now everybody's going to suffer for it. Everybody's going to get affected with all of this, because definitely, if the farm product is not getting the attention that it needs, that means it's going to just die off, and everyone will just get to buy things very expensive, because it's going to be very difficult to find farm products in the supermarket or whatsoever you get your stuffs from. Like, this is just so disappointing. Maybe they don't know that things were going to turn out this way, but now it's turning out this way. Everybody is just dancing to the rhythm of the music. Okay, the other hand, Latino people are getting deported. Okay, Asian people, they have their own going on now. Pan-colored people, farmers, this, like, veterans, like, everybody virtually is just dancing to the rhythm of the music. And it's as if people that looks like me are just they're just one side and looking. Oh God. Anyway, lovely, so just leave me your thoughts in the comment section of what I think of this video. And please, if you're not subscribed to this channel up to this extent, do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button. Like, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one. You thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So, lovelies, if you've not subscribed to your girl, a huge favor to click on the subscription button. Like, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.